You need to tell me.
How was your marriage,
Are
Nick?
you asking me if I killed my wife?
Man of my dreams, this man of mine may kill me.
What about my son, Nick?
Gone Girl unfolds as a tense psychological mystery that explores the fragile boundaries between love, deception, and public perception. The story begins in a quiet Midwestern town where a married couple appears to live a relatively normal life from the outside. Nick and Amy Dunne seem like the kind of couple people assume will last forever. They are attractive, intelligent, and once shared a passionate relationship that friends admired. Yet beneath the surface of their marriage lies a complicated web of resentment, disappointment, and secrets that neither of them fully understands anymore. Nick is a former writer who once enjoyed the excitement of living in a major city, where his career had promise and his social life was vibrant. But life changed when economic pressures and family obligations forced him and Amy to move to his hometown, a place that feels quieter and far less inspiring than the world they left behind. The move created subtle cracks in their relationship. Amy, who grew up in a wealthy and intellectually stimulating environment, struggles to adjust to a slower life that seems disconnected from the ambitions she once carried. Amy herself is a fascinating and complicated figure. Raised as the inspiration behind a famous children's book series written by her parents, she grew up with a strange kind of fame attached to her identity. The fictional character based on her childhood portrayed an idealized version of her life, always succeeding and always admired. While the books brought her family fortune and recognition, they also created a shadow that followed Amy everywhere. In many ways, she felt forced to compete with a perfect version of herself that existed only in stories. When their marriage first began, Nick and Amy shared a powerful connection built on humor, intelligence, and mutual admiration. Their early days together were filled with playful conversations, romantic adventures, and the sense that they had found someone who truly understood them. But as years passed, financial stress, personal disappointments, and emotional distance slowly transformed that vibrant relationship into something colder and more fragile. The story takes a dramatic turn on the morning of the couple's wedding anniversary when Nick returns home to discover that Amy has disappeared. The house shows signs of a struggle, furniture is overturned, and there are unsettling clues suggesting that something violent may have occurred. At first, the situation appears to be a terrifying case of abduction, and the local police begin investigating the scene. While the community reacts with shock and concern. As the investigation unfolds, the disappearance quickly becomes a national media sensation. News channels, journalists, and online commentators begin analyzing every detail of the case. Amy's parents arrive to help search for their daughter, presenting themselves as grieving family members desperate for answers. The story captures public attention because Amy's background already carries a sense of familiarity due to the beloved books inspired by her childhood. Nick suddenly finds himself under an intense spotlight. Every move he makes is scrutinized by investigators and reporters, who want to understand what happened inside the Dunne household. At first, he tries to appear calm and cooperative, but his awkward behavior in front of cameras and the media creates suspicion. His facial expressions, body language, and tone during interviews are interpreted by some observers as signs that he may be hiding something. As detectives examine the house and gather evidence, they begin uncovering clues that paint a troubling picture of the marriage between Nick and Amy. Financial problems, arguments, and hints of emotional distance emerge during questioning. These discoveries gradually shift public perception. Instead of seeing Nick as a worried husband searching for his missing wife, many people begin wondering whether he could be responsible for her disappearance. Meanwhile, the narrative reveals Amy's perspective through a series of personal writings that describe her experiences during the marriage. These entries portray a woman who initially believed she had found the perfect partner, but slowly began feeling betrayed and neglected. According to these writings, Nick changed over time, becoming distant and unfaithful, while their relationship deteriorated into something painful and lonely. The contrast between Nick's public behavior and Amy's recorded thoughts creates an atmosphere of uncertainty. Viewers are left questioning which version of events reflects the truth. The investigation becomes not only a search for a missing person, but also an exploration of how two individuals can experience the same relationship in dramatically different ways. As pressure from the media intensifies, Nick's life becomes increasingly chaotic. Crowds gather outside his home, television hosts discuss his actions daily, and social networks fill with speculation about his guilt. Even small moments like a nervous smile during a press conference are interpreted as evidence that he may be hiding something terrible. The court of public opinion begins, forming long before any official conclusions are reached. The detectives working on the case continue piecing together the timeline leading up to Amy's disappearance. Financial records, phone calls, and witness testimonies gradually reveal details about the couple's troubled relationship. Each discovery adds another layer to the mystery, making it harder to determine what truly happened inside the house that morning. As the story progresses, the tension builds through unexpected revelations that challenge everything the audience believes about the situation. Secrets begin surfacing from both Nick's life and Amy's past. The carefully constructed image of their marriage starts unraveling, exposing the ways both individuals manipulated appearances in order to maintain control over how others perceive them. One of the most compelling aspects of the narrative is its exploration of how easily truth can be shaped by storytelling. Journalists create dramatic narratives to attract viewers, lawyers craft strategies to influence juries, and the couple themselves present carefully chosen versions of events to protect their reputations. In this environment, facts become blurred by interpretation and emotion. Nick eventually realizes that surviving the public storm surrounding him requires understanding the complex psychological game unfolding around him. He begins examining the clues left behind by Amy more closely, recognizing patterns that suggest her disappearance may not be as straightforward as investigators initially believed. The story evolves into a tense battle of intelligence and strategy between two people who know each other's strengths and weaknesses better than anyone else. Each new revelation changes the direction of the investigation, forcing both the authorities and the public to reconsider their assumptions. The emotional core of the film lies in its examination of how relationships can become distorted by expectations, resentment, and the pressure to maintain perfect appearances. Nick and Amy once built their marriage on passion and admiration, but over time they began performing roles designed to impress each other rather than expressing their genuine feelings. As the mystery moves toward its climax, the film delves deeper into themes of control, manipulation, and identity. Both characters reveal sides of themselves that challenge the audience's understanding of who they truly are. Their actions raise difficult questions about how far people are willing to go to protect their image, punish betrayal, or reclaim power within a relationship that has spiraled out of control. The investigation eventually reaches a point where the truth behind Amy's disappearance becomes impossible to ignore. The shocking revelations transform the case from a simple missing person mystery into a disturbing psychological drama about two individuals locked in a destructive cycle of manipulation and revenge. In the final stages of the story, the lines between victim and villain become increasingly blurred. Nick and Amy are forced to confront the consequences of the choices they made throughout their marriage. Their relationship becomes less about love and more about control, reputation, and survival. In a world where perception often matters more than reality, Gone Girl ultimately leaves audiences reflecting on the complexities of human relationships and the dangers of building a life based on carefully maintained illusions. The film shows how easily people can misjudge situations when they rely only on appearances or partial information. Through its suspenseful storytelling and deeply psychological characters, the narrative reveals how love can transform into something darker when communication breaks down and resentment replaces trust. What begins as a mystery about a missing woman evolves into a chilling exploration of identity, power, and the masks people wear in order to protect themselves from the truth. By the time the story concludes, Viewers are left questioning not only what happened between Nick and Amy, but also how well anyone can truly understand the person they choose to share their life with. The film's haunting message suggests that behind even the most ordinary relationships may lie hidden layers of ambition, fear, and manipulation waiting to surface when the illusion of perfection finally collapses.